Well, hello, Abby. Hi, Deb here. OJ's at work, and I need to start packing up this house. As you can see, I think around me, we have been collecting boxes. Oh, and I have a couple of dogs that want to come and join me. So, yeah, if you hear snoring later, it's because Abby is the snorer now. So, we have moved a few times over the years. I won't try to count up how many, but I've had lots of practice, so I'm pretty good at moving and packing. So I thought I would just make a little video and share a few tips while I'm doing some packing. So hopefully, there's no major secrets, just things that will make the packing and the moving go a little smoother. So I have some notes just in case I lose track of what I wanted to tell you. So the first thing is use small boxes, especially when you're 65, almost 66. I have problems with my sciatic nerve, and the last time I had a really big flare-up was our last move. So one of the worst things for sciatic is lifting and turning, and so I know I have to be careful, and so putting stuff in smaller boxes definitely makes it easier. Getting somebody else, I guess, to do it would be easy too, but we're kind of busy. OJ's kind of busy. So first thing, rather than pack a couple of dozen books in, say, a big box like this, it's much easier. I'll have to find the right size box, but packing a half a dozen books in a smaller box is the way to go. So I'm going to pack a few books and then we'll move on. Hopefully this shows up on camera. Like I said, I need to find boxes that fit the book. So especially these heavy ones. Now that's a little too low. Maybe one of these. That's a better fit. One thing I'm not sure how I'll pack these bookends we have had for many, many years, and they are, I think, Brazilian agate. There was a man in Port, I think he was from St. Claude, but he did rock polishing, and I don't know if he did this or if he bought this, but they're very heavy. So I'm not sure how I'll pack those. Maybe I can fit, no, that one, maybe not. Probably put some on top too. And there, that is a full box. I don't think that one will fit in there, so I'll have to put another cut. Even with just a small box, it's still relatively heavy, but I can manage it. So, no, that didn't show on camera, but I think this does now. This box, a little heavy, but not bad. This box here, I have another box here that I put some of them in. This is a much more manageable size box, so I'll just make sure OJ carries the heavy ones, or somebody. So, anyway, that's how I do the books. Well, hello, Abby. First point, pack heavy items, fragile items in smaller boxes. It will make it so much easier on your back. The big boxes can be kept for lighter items. And yes, we have that's another point I didn't even put on here, but start collecting boxes way ahead of time. And when you think you have too many, go get more, because you'll find out how very quickly boxes go. Another thing I was going to talk about is just the first thing I pack up is just things that we're not using, which includes books, ornaments, keepsakes, things like that. I've got my shelves out there in the living room that have all of my keepsakes on there. Those I will pack up today, and we won't miss them. The same with the kitchen. There's lots of fancy dishes, glass platters, things like that we're not going to be using, so they will be packed up right away. And then as we get closer to moving, I cut it right down to just the bare necessities and pack up the rest of the kitchen. So the last day or so, there's not a lot to do. This move's going to be a little more difficult because we're also working on the little fixer-upper at the same time. So I think I'm going to be doing, well, I usually do the majority of the packing, but definitely this time Danica and I will be doing the packing. So, number 1 was use small boxes. Number 2, pack up stuff that we're not using first. So again, keepsakes. These will also go in small boxes because that way they're less likely to get broken. And of course, more books, photo albums, grandkids, coloring books, crayons, things like that are here. And then of course, what's left of the DVD collection. And some games, and then more things up there. All of this can be packed up. Items. Number 2, items that are not used often. Number 3, declutter as you pack. Now, I've already done a lot of decluttering, so I don't have too much to do, but I'm pretty sure when I get to things like the junk drawer in the kitchen, there's a bunch of booklets that come with appliances that you never look at after you buy them, so I'm not sure why I keep them. But things like that we'll get rid of. I still have boxes of stuff to donate that we haven't made to the thrift store, so we'll be making another trip to the thrift store. And here is, well, kind of a junk drawer and miscellaneous. You would think when I decluttered I would have gotten rid of some of this, and this is a can opener that doesn't even work properly, so I'm not sure why it got shoved in there, but there will be some decluttering going on here. All of these manuals. Now, some of them I guess we could keep, but and then there's my gingerbread house plans from, I don't know, 30 years ago. Lunch bags. Nutcrackers. We have to keep at least one of those. Just a lot of, this is just extra, a bag of extra knives. So, yes, that's the other point, is declutter as you go. The last thing on my list of tips is, and I'm sure most people do this anyway, is to label every box with what's in it, but I try to be as specific as possible because there's nothing worse than getting to the new place and, not being able to find, I don't know, the can opener or the coffee. That would be really bad. But even with books, I'll probably just put hardcover books because I'll know they're gardening, landscaping, some history books, things like that. And I know, or I'll just put antique bookshelf on the ones that go on that shelf, and then it'll make it easier to unpack and put them away because I'm taking my shelf with me. I'm probably going to be getting rid of some furniture. For sure, our dining room table will not fit in the little fixer-upper, so that will go, and probably some other things, but there are some items that I plan to keep, and this bookshelf is one of them. So, on here I will put antique bookshelf. Oh, the other thing is every box, I also put the room that it's going in. So I'll put living room on here. Label it specifically and label it with the room it's going to. It'll make it so much easier when you go to unpack. I don't know. These are pretty simple and most people already do them, but just in case you've never moved before, never had to pack before, hopefully this helps. Okay, so I think that's the end of this video. So I just thought I'd go over my notes and make sure I haven't missed anything. So 4 ways to make packing and moving easier and go smoother. Number 1, use small boxes, especially for heavy items like books, dishes, or fragile things like keepsakes. Use small boxes. When it comes to books, your back will thank you. My back does. Number 2, pack least used items first. So that's why I'm packing the books. I don't have time to read or look at books right now. Keepsakes, they can be packed up right away. Dishes that we don't use, those are packed up right away. Number 3, declutter as you pack. Even though we've done lots of decluttering, there will be more, I'm sure lots more decluttering as we go. So there's nothing worse than getting to the new house and opening up a box and finding junk in it that you could have just thrown away. Ask me how I know. And not even when we moved, probably a year after moving, I've opened up boxes and thought, why did we keep this stuff? So get rid of whatever you can get rid of now. Number 4, label every box and label it very specifically. Label exactly what's in the box and what room it's going in. In this case, I'm labeling the bookshelf that these books go on, so very specific. And I also, in other moves, especially if it's a bigger house with more rooms, our little fixer-upper is pretty small, so it'll be a little easier, but I always make a sign. If we have people helping us move, I put a sign on every doorway so that they know, master bedroom or whoever's bedroom, and then the box is labeled, the room is labeled. They don't have to be constantly asking what room does this, where does this go? It just makes everything go a lot smoother. So I think that is my list of tips. Nothing that you probably haven't heard before, but maybe if this is your first move, you'll find these tips helpful, hopefully. Yeah, we are still working on the little fixer-uppers, so this packing job is going to be left to me because OJ is still working until his retirement date. So when he's not at work, we're at the little fixer-upper working, because otherwise we're going to be homeless soon. So Danica and I will get the job of packing up. And yes, if you I won't make you watch me do all of the packing. I might show you when this mountain of empty boxes turns into full boxes. And I think, like I said before, when you have a pile of boxes like this and you think surely that's enough, it won't be. So keep on collecting. Better to have to pass the boxes along than to get to the end and run out of boxes and you don't have anywhere to put your stuff. And there we are. Shelves are all empty. Just a few things there. Small box to donate. Some garbage. Empty CD cases and such. More empty shelf there. And there's my stack of boxes. Still lots there. But we will need lots more. Abby, do you want to come in and say goodbye to everybody? She's sitting here wondering what I'm doing. So there we go. There we go. There we go. Abby's got a bad eye. Yes, you got a bad eye. You got a sore in your eye. Anyway. Bye. See you later. And that took maybe a couple of hours.
see you on the next one.